Under certain circumstances, possible of drawing right marble that will give them the opportunity So I need to know just a couple sentences about you. Yes. Oh, so you just put your name.
So we threw it against the wall.
Yes. Actually, it's something you wear so when you walk around with my
Welcome to the Club of Livermore. Thank you for being here today, and thank you for all you do for our community and for all our club projects as well. Bob Bishop, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
President Pat and fellow Rotarians, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Remove your hats. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There's no comment.
Ron Servers.
Where's Linda?
Join us. Well, we have our friend Chris Carter here to talk to us about the arts in Livermore. And Chris knows better than anybody else, there's no business like show business. Everything about it is appealing. Everything the traffic will allow. Now you get that feeling when you're feeling as you're out. There's no people like show people. They smile when they are low. Even with a turkey that you know before, maybe stranded out in the cold. It wouldn't change it for a second.
Thank you, Soxers, for your remarkable business like show business. Will, are you available? Great.
Good evening, Rotarians. Before I give my thought for the day, here's a quick announcement from Mike Thompson. The Rotary Golf Tournament is in a couple weeks on Thursday, September 11th. We still have 2 spots open. If you want to play, it's $85, which is a great deal at Wendy. And it includes green fees and prizes. So get in touch with Mike, send the check to him, and get on out there. And now back to the thought for the day. Here's my thought. You know, I always think of August as when school starts. I happen to be married to a teacher, so August is always a big time of year for me, and for her, obviously. And these days, we go for a walk early in the morning, well before school starts, my wife, myself, and our dog. And we talk about what's on the plan for today, and you know, those kind of things. And we did that today, and she told me about a new teacher that she had. She was a math teacher at Grand for many years. In the last 10 years, she's been a teacher mentor. And what a teacher mentor does is they work with first and second year teachers to help them become better teachers. Anyway, she's telling me about this teacher that she had. This was a first-year kindergarten teacher. And my wife went into her class. My wife's name is Heather. She went into her class, and the class, before school started, the class looked amazing. I mean, this lady had done a lot of work. Everything was super well organized. It was incredibly welcoming. And she thought, wow, this lady has done an immense amount of work. Sorry. So, anyway, one of the things the lady did was right next, when you first enter her classroom, there's a big, like, picture frame. And on the top of the picture frame, it had the banner, first day of school. And then below the picture frame, it had a place where the kids could write their name. And as each kid would come in, they would get their picture taken. Think about what a great keepsake that was for everybody. And you know, that just kind of really hit me. Anyway, my wife was telling her, this is an amazing job you've done. How long did it take you to get your class ready? And the first year teacher kind of looked at her sheepishly and said, most of the summer. And that got me thinking, I don't know about you, but if I don't have a kindergartner anymore, but if I did or had a grandchild, I'd certainly want them to be with a teacher like that. And for all the teachers out there, thank you so much for everything you do, and thanks, Rotarians.
Thanks, Phil, that was fabulous. Okay, meeting the front line, we have Spur reporter Tim Berry, Spur publisher Kathy Coyle, photographer Don Wentz, Paul DeCandless, who studiously and vigorously put together the slide deck this week and made it all come out the way it's supposed to come out. And reader Linda Tenney, or frontliners. We have our wonderful sergeants at arms. We have Beck and Peck, or no?
We just have Officer Peck today.
Just
Peck, just Peck and no Peck. No Peck. Only one arm. One arm.
Peck is back. Okay. Web magician Kathy Coyle, public outreach Kelly Bowers, and what did you walk in with? Kelly's busy right now.
Yes.
What did you walk in with, Kelly?
A surprise.
A very large check.
Great. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes.
$6.
Great. Okay, Tim Berry has been doing a great job with videography. And even introduction of visiting Rotarians and guests. We have
So visiting Rotarians.
Awesome.
Thank you.
We have a lot of that. There he is.
Okay, President Pat and fellow Rotarians, it is my honor to introduce Dennis Hams. Not only is a member of the Rotary Club in the morning Rotary, right? Okay, he's also with Livermore Valley Rotary. Not that I don't want to promote you, don't get me wrong at all. You brought your own, we know who you are. And also with Zone 7, please help me welcome Dennis Hams. President Pat and fellow Rotarians, they're all at my table. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce Kathleen Mincer. She is also part of the morning club, the Livermore Valley Club, past president, as well as Dennis was a past president. I'm sorry, I think I'm going to get fined. She is a amazing lady. She works for Legacy Real Estate. She's also with the Little League World Series, which we'll hear a little bit more about later, as well as the rodeo 4-H leader. She kind of does it all. Anyway, will you help me welcome Kathleen Mincer?
Hi,
Is he Rotarian?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. President Pat and fellow Rotarians.
No, it's not
It is-
that. It's got a different name.
It's Bill. Please help me welcome. This is Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Oh, well, yes. So, you just put up with me for a minute longer. Okay, so Bill is a member of the Livermore Valley Morning Rotary Club, also the president and CEO of Legacy Real Estate, and also the engine behind Livermore Little League World Series. Please help me welcome Bill Abumrad.
Hi,
Oh, that's
we have more roving microphones.
Do you have any more Rotarians? Visiting Rotarians.
Visiting Rotarians. I didn't see Bob Tuckman today.
President Pat, for Rotarians, it's my pleasure to introduce Frank Sola. Frank Sola is leading us from from Silvermont Downville Rotary.
Yep.
Frank is field director with South America. He also happens to be my mentor and coach, so please treat him kindly.
Are we going to guests? Cheers.
Okay, Pat, President Pat and fellow Rotarians. I have a guest today. This is Rick. I met Rick at a SIRS meeting, and I just found out today from Brian what SIRS means. I knew it was an acronym for something. Anyway, talked to him about Rotary, told him how wonderful the noon club is, though I know that he's attended the morning club, but I know we can woo him. No offense. Anyway.
I don't know, we're outnumbered over there. How'd you do
Wine.
that?
He's going, you can't have wine with eggs. It just doesn't work. Anyway, if you could all please help me welcome, oh wait a minute, Rick, he's a retired gentleman that was in the high-tech industry in Silicon Valley. So if you could please help me welcome Rick, then thisness.
Welcome, Rick.
Rotarians, I'd like to introduce my wife of 50 years, Adele.
Okay, fellow Rotarians, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to introduce, once again, my wife, 40-year school teacher, now retired, Mary Martha.
Okay, President Pat, fellow Rotarians, it's my pleasure to introduce my wife, retired school teacher here in Livermore, has tolerated me for 48 years, Pam Ferrucci.
Fellow Rotarian, I'd like to introduce my wife, only 45 years. She's also publisher of The Independent for 63 years. And just as a, actually you may not know, every Friday and Saturday, if you've never been to the Bank of Italy, the Independent offices, between 5 and 7, Friday and Saturday, there's an art gallery and you get to learn a little bit more about history too.
By the way, I've heard that there's an excellent guitar player that plays in that venue, and maybe Chris Carter could tell us a little bit more about that. Chris also plays there.
President Pat and fellow Rotarians, it's my pleasure to introduce my wife Claudia for 49 years. Claudia's another retired local teacher.
All right, love that.
President Pat, it seems like discipline has kind of gone away since Mark has left. And I remember that he spent a lot of time trying to teach us how to greet a fellow Rotarian. And how to greet a visitor. And I think we were confused. Perhaps Mark can tell us again what we have to do.
That's an excellent.
You know, and we did talk about this during my reign as well. Now, when we have, yeah, is that what it's called? My presidency. Well, I did wear a tiara way in the beginning. Anyway, when it's a, we're not going to talk about that, right? Okay. When it's a member, we say hello, Bob, right? We don't clap. But when it's a visitor, we clap. You could do both? I thought there was specific rules. You guys told me that. I took that from past president.
Hi, Dennis.
Okay, we'll try and do better next week.
That sounds great. Past President Shelley, yeah, there's something just going on that. When Bob Tucknot's here, we always get it right.
I know, we get excited. We have a lot of guests this time, President Pat. There he goes.
Those scams also has a solution. Coming up next, I think we'll ask Don Sweeney to come up and
Bob and Bill, could you come up?
I think he has some Rotary paraphernalia
As they're coming up.
in the red badge.
So, a quick poll. How many of you ever have been associated with scouting, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Scouting, Cub Scouts? Wow, okay.
Brownies.
Okay,
Oh, sorry.
okay. So
Scouts where I live.
I'm pleased to introduce a new Red Badge member, Phil, whose sponsor is Bob Carling. And Phil is the executive director of Scouting America in this district. And I know a lot of you have relatives, and a lot of you have been scout leaders in the past. So let me pass this on to Bob.
Well, thank you, Don. Yes, I now work for Phil. So thanks to Trex. So this is what happens when you join Rotaries and end up getting other jobs. So anyway, it's certainly my pleasure to welcome Phil to Rotary, and I'm sure that he'll be a valuable contributor as we move forward. So let's welcome Phil.
And so Bob as his sponsor and gets a bottle of wine. Thank you.
Ooh.
Next up, do we have the, Tim Barron's.
As much as we'd like you to support your favorite sports team, we are all Rotarians, and these meetings don't just happen. We've all got our roles, and I've noticed as your club service director this year, that a lot of the items on our spreadsheet that we keep track of this are blank for the next several weeks. Well, we were on summer hiatus, and President Pat got started and all. Now it's time to spit on the lead pencil and fill your name in on some of those boxes. And these jobs are not difficult. Let's see. Thought for the day. I had a thought. You're done. The spur reporter. I've got a pen. I got a piece of paper. You're done. Gosh, photos. Well, all of us have a phone now that we can take pictures. We're done. Audiovisual needs some training. It's quite complex, but they could use more folks to do that. Greeters, hi, welcome to Rotary. You're done. Taking video, which I've been doing, and Niall has done for so long for us. Just a little training, and you're done. So we really encourage you. There's a clipboard. Thank you, Sheila and Irv, for getting that clipboard going. Put your name down. Just help us for every meeting. And the people who have their name in the most times in a month is going to get a prize from me. So each month I'll let you know what that is. And then the trips to Hawaii are still on the table, aren't they, Pat? So, all right, thank you all.
And a wise, very wise sage, past president once said, Rotary is not a spectator school. Yes. Okay, moving on to Community Service Day. Trex and I are getting things together to take a look at what will be happening among our club members on September 20th.
Yes. So, City of Livermore has Community Service Day, September 20th. We have chosen as the main location that we're going to try to get as many Rotarians to help with as possible as Hageman Park, or the farm over on Olivina. Got two sign-up lists for people to sign up for, and they do have a whole bunch of other locations around town that they're going to have people doing service at as well. And 8 to 1 is the total time. We're planning on working at Hageman Park or Hageman Farm at 8:30 till 12. And then they're going to do a free lunch at Las Vegas College starting at 12:30. So we're all welcome to free food too. So sign the boards if you're available on the 20th. Thanks.
8 o'clock is very early.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I forget. You guys are so retired. 8:30. Well, yeah. It's cooler then, yes.
Just a few more announcements. Just want you all to know that the Alan Frank Memorial Celebration will be held at the Bothwell Arts Center in Livermore, Friday, October 17th at 11 a.m. And in lieu of flowers, we've gone over this several times before, but it's important that you hear about it. So in lieu of flowers, contributions can be made to the Rotarian Foundation of Livermore, attention, Rotary Music Scholarships, or to the Livermore Amador Symphony. Okay, and next week's program, we will have Outreach Officer Tracy Meredith speaking on scam protection, and we'll be, of course, meeting at noon at Robert Livermore Community Center in the Palo Verde room. The check. Good point. So we're going to take a few moments here to unveil the special check. The very special check, which Kelly Bowers has coveted very carefully over the last few weeks, and saved it for this very moment. I had the honor of signing the check just about 20 minutes ago.
The ink is still wet.
I think Sergeant Beck, I think maybe Kelly.
We want the people up here. They need to hear. Okay. People getting the check.
Okay.
And who's it for? So they actually received the actual check. Thanks to Alan. And during that ceremony, check out bigger.
Get a microphone.
Ceremony.
Do you want a microphone up there, Kelly?
Yeah. Oh, I was going to use my teacher voice, but I didn't. No.
Okay.
Okay, so the Little League Intermediate World Series is an incredible gift to our youth in the whole Tri-Valley, and it's also a gift to our community, and it puts Livermore on the map. And many people come from all over the world to enjoy it, but it still has that hometown feeling. And these are the people who have kept it going for our youth for many years. And Rotary was such a proud sponsor. Everybody stepped forward, and our banner was on display everywhere, on the marquee, on the ESPN. It was on the national TV. It also was on display on the fences, and then our Rotarians were there serving lunches to the teams, to the umpires, to the families and coaches, and we really showed up for this group. But I will tell you, I have been part of it. We live across the street, so we also eat at the snack bar when I don't want to cook, and so I get to see it firsthand. And Kathleen Mincer and Bill Boomeran have been there from the very beginning, and it doesn't just start. You heard about teachers working hard all summer. They have so much preparation of the fields and making sure everything was upgraded and getting donations. And so Livermore Rotary Club of Livermore stepped up. So this is a tribute to all of you, and we're very excited to present the presentation check, but the actual check. So let's hear it for them.
All right, one, two, three. I know, I wanted to make Stephanie be taller. Oh, just, okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, Stephanie, we need the microphone. Okay, we need the microphone. Oh, you need the microphone. Sorry.
Yeah, going to this group. All right, so I'm going to introduce Bill Boomeran. He's our tournament director. I'm changing my title this year to production director because I think I do more than that, than I do media and anything else, and hospitality. But Bill's going to talk about the 12 teams that come from around the world.
So I can't thank you guys enough for literally the large donation that you made this year. Like Kathleen said, we have 12 teams. 6 of them come international and 6 of them come domestic. And where the teams come from, it's all regions. So this year we had Mexico. We had a team from Venezuela that represented the Latin America region. We have a team from Canada. We had a team from Seoul, South Korea that represents the Asia Pacific region. We had a team from the Czech Republic that represents Europe, Africa. And then we had a team from Australia. So that makes up our 6 international teams. They play each other during the week to determine who's going to be the international champion. And then we had 6 domestic teams. The Livermore, or I should say District 57, because we host the event, they automatically get a team in, whoever wins the district tournament. This year it happened to be Danville. So Danville represented this whole area this year. We also had a team from the east. They were from New Jersey. We had a team from the southeast from South Carolina. We had a team from the southwest, which was from New Orleans. There was a team from the central, I think they were from Wisconsin. And then the team from the west came from Maui, Hawaii. And so Maui, Hawaii won the U.S. division, and Venezuela won the international division, and Venezuela ended up winning the entire World Series. And if I could, I didn't have the time to give it to anybody today, but this event is so big, especially if you're coming from Venezuela, because you have to appreciate where they're coming from. So their senior team couldn't get visas to go to the Senior World Series, and some of their parents for the Little League World Series in Williamsport couldn't get out either. We were fortunate, they got to us a couple days in advance. The parade that they had for their team when they got home for winning this was like a ticker tape parade. They sent us a video. And we do this, we've been doing this since 2013, and it's truly a community event, but it really is a world event. These kids are treated like Major League Baseball players. I was just telling Rick at the table, we pick them up from the airport in a black tie limousine luxury bus. They come to their hotel in that bus, and they come to the field and back every day in that bus. They're given complete uniforms. They're fed 3 meals a day. They are truly treated like Major League ball players, and all their uniforms, everything they get to keep. And for some of these kids, by the time they leave, they're taking baseballs with them, because I give them a whole bucket of balls when they get here. That's how much they need baseballs. That's how poor a lot of the countries are coming from. They can't even afford baseballs. And so when you look at an event like this and the impact that it has on their lives, it's one of the reasons why we do this. And I was so proud this year to hang your guys' banner in very visible spots that we knew would get ESPN coverage. And you were on ESPN, you were on our big Jumbotron and stuff. And we cannot thank you enough for the donation. And I know Bob's here, he handles the Boy Scouts. They power wash our stands every night and empty the trash for us every night out there, because for my crew, we work hard all day, but even that's not much work that they save off of my crew. And so it truly is a community event. And again, thank you for your support. We already got a commitment from Little League that we have the event again next year. So,
Joel. Turn it over to you, Joel.
Well, fellow Rotarians, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, we have the privilege tonight to have Chris Carter talking to us. He's the Chief Executive Officer for LivValleyArts, and he's been in that position since 2020. Wow, looking at this thing, it's a long resume here. But he's been responsible for raising more than $15 million for the arts in Livermore. He was our Community Service Award winner in the rodeo parade this past summer. He's a member of the Tri-Valley Nonprofit Alliance, the Association of Performing Arts Professionals, California Presenters Association, Western Arts Alliance. Okay. He was also founding board member of the Tri-Valley Nonprofit Alliance. currently serves as the chair of St. Mary's College of Science Advisory Board and as the chair for the board of directors for the Visit Try. So bringing people into the area, that's great. He's an avid guitarist. For those who didn't know that, maybe he's the one who plays at the Bank of Italy building. And let's see, he's been in a band that's written and recorded several studio albums, and they continue to share their love of music with anyone who will listen. He lives in Pleasanton, well, we're random that, and has been a volunteer for the Boy Scouts in various capacities over the last 14 years. Let us welcome Chris Carter.
All right, that's good. Thank you, everybody. I was told I have 2 hours. Is that okay?
Play the guitar.
Yeah, I'll grab a guitar. Well, I'm really glad to be here, and I was just thinking when I arrived, the first Rotary meeting I came to was probably in 2014 when I first started working in Livermore, and people told me, you need to go visit the Rotary. And I remember going, and it was down at Springtown, and I didn't know anybody, and it was really hard for me to meet people. I was very brand new, and I came tonight, and I know people at every single table. And I really love this community, and one of my favorite things about the work that I do, probably my favorite thing, is that the people that are supportive of what we do are some of my favorite people. And I really do, I feel very grateful to be able to work in a community like this. So thank you for allowing me to speak. Okay, so an hour and 55 minutes. I'm currently the CEO of LivValleyArts. So we operate the Bankhead Theater and the Bothwell Arts Center. This is one of my favorite quotes, and if you were, we had our gala on Saturday, and if you came to the gala, you might have heard me say this quote, but it's, art washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life, and that was a Pablo Picasso quote. And when I am on the stage and I introduce an artist, I like to say that we serve the community through the arts because we believe the arts makes all of our lives better. And this is, I think, essentially the same thing. Art makes our lives better. And we're a nonprofit, and we exist to serve the community in the best way that we can through art. So I love that quote, and I love thinking that that's what we do. A little brief biography, that's my family. This is the most recent picture I could find. That was from a couple of months ago. I have 3 kids. 2 just turned 21 last month. They're in college right now. And then I have a soon-to-be 18-year-old at Amador High School who's on the varsity football team. It's the very tall one on the right. I think he's the mailman's kid. It's really tall. We've been in Pleasanton for 24 years. I met my wife at St. Mary's College in Moraga. A lot of my actual work history has also been at St. Mary's College in development and fundraising. And I came out to Livermore to be the development director at LivValleyArts to do all the fundraising, but also, as Joel mentioned, I do play the guitar. I have a great love of music. I love of live performance. I'll play for anybody that wants to listen. Love to write music, love to perform with other people, and I love to be around music all the time. I also like to play golf. If anybody likes golf, that's my other terrible passion that I'm really bad at, but I still love doing. Anyways, it's a little bit about me. Here's the Bankhead Theater. This was actually from Saturday night. When I talk about the Bankhead Theater and Livermore Valley Performing Arts Center, I like to think of us as the premier presenting arts center in the Tri-Valley region. So not just Livermore, but for the entire Tri-Valley. Probably one of the most, one of the most premier ones in the East Bay, in my mind. And my goal is always been for us to be thought of in the same sentence as some of these great venues across California. So if you think of like the Gallo Center, or Uptown Napa or things like that. I always want us to be, or Yoshi's, I want us to be on the same level or better. And so I feel like we are. And I do hear that from a lot of people outside of the region, that they know who we are. This is our mission, is to offer a broad range of arts opportunities and experiences to engage, enrich, inspire our diverse community. We like to do a little bit of everything, so we'd like to engage with people, but also we feel like it's our goal is to enrich people's lives, to help them grow, and then to inspire them, which art can do that. This was Saturday night also. That's Leanne Rhymes performing for us. And I'll tell you a little bit more about who we are. We are a nonprofit, 501c3 nonprofit. We take donations. In fact, I put some things out there on the table in case you're interested. We operate the Bankhead Theater in downtown Livermore. It's a 503 seat theater. 507, actually, 507 seat theater. We also operate the Bothwell Arts Center on 8th Street. Which we have lots of camps and classes and things like that there at the Bothwell. We use it for rental spaces. We do a lot of other events there as well. Somebody mentioned Alan Frank's Memorial is going to be at the Bothwell. We do arts education and outreach programs. So that is those camps, those classes I was talking about. We have a program called East Bay Jazz High School All-Stars, which is a program for high school students to come and they compete for spots, and then they get to have this experience of what it's like to be a professional musician, and it's a great experience. We also do outreach programs out in the community. So if you think of Art Walk, Downtown Art Walk, that's us. We do that. It's a free event. We started to do a Comic-Con. We just did our 3rd year in a row of a Comic-Con event. Draws thousands of people. I had no idea there were so many people in a Comic-Con. And then if you see, there's a lot of cultural heritage celebrations on the plaza as well. We support all of those events that you see. We also have 8 resident companies. So these are, we don't produce art, but there are organizations that do produce, like Livermore Valley Opera or Livermore Amador Symphony, Tri-Valley Theater Company, CYT Tri-Valley. So they all actually do the art, and they use our space as their primary performance venue. So we have 8 of them. We do over 400 programs a year. We serve over 80,000 people annually. That's also from Saturday night. What some of the programs we do specifically, it's Bankhead Presents. So those are our national touring artists that you'll see come through the Bankhead. You'll see on the table I put out a couple of cards about some artists that are coming up. We also have the resident companies that use the Bankhead. We do our public outreach in front of the Bankhead building, the cultural heritage programs I just mentioned, the art camps and classes. We have school matinee programs. A lot of times we'll hire these, when we book these national touring artists, we make sure they do a school show as well. We invite local schools to attend those programs. We have subsidized ticket programs. So that's specifically for students. So if you go to our website and you see a ticket price of $100 or $80 or whatever that is, if you're a student, it's actually $25. No questions asked. It's always $25. And then we also do free ticket programs. And so we partner with several organizations to offer free tickets for members of the community that might not get a chance to come. One of them is called VetTix. So we do free tickets for veterans through the VetTix program. So if you're a veteran, it's a great program. We also do free ticket programs for Open Heart Kitchen and for the people that they serve. So if you've been to Vineyard 2.0, there's a shelter there, very close to the Bankhead Theater. They've sent a lot of their guests, the people that they support, to the Bankhead through that program. We also do that for Tri-Valley Haven, which supports victims of domestic violence. We do that for CityServe Tri-Valley. We've also done that for Goodness Village. So that's an important program for us. We don't sell every single seat. There's open seats. And so I'd rather have people in those seats than have them be empty. And if we can share that experience with people that might not get that opportunity, I think that's very important. We also have a podcast. So if anybody listen to podcasts, sound a couple. I never used to listen to podcasts. Now it's one of my preferred methods of getting information is podcasts, because I can do it while I'm driving or getting dressed or anything like that. I can listen to it on my own time. We have a podcast called Beyond the Stage, and it comes out once a month, and I interview artists that are coming to the Bankhead Theater. So I just did one that just came out recently, was Vicki Lawrence from Mama's Family, right? Yeah, she performed last week, and there's a podcast where we got to interview her and we got to know a lot about her life. So it's fun. You get to learn about lots of interesting people, and it's fun for me to meet these people. But I encourage you to check out the podcast. And then I want to talk a little bit about what the arts can do and why what we do, I believe, is important. The first thing I wrote is a kinder community. So a lot of research shows that people who regularly engage in the arts are more empathic. They have a stronger sense of community. These are things that lead to kindness, a deeper understanding of others. You get that through art. And it's interesting, I think, a lot of times, especially in a world like we live in today, it's really hard to have a conversation with somebody and change someone's mind. But art can change people's minds. It can have a very profound impact. Thank you. So I think what we do makes people kinder. And I think that's really important. It's a healthier community. One of the types of organizations that sponsor arts organizations a lot are hospitals, healthcare organizations. They think art is important because a lot of research shows that regular engagement with art leads to a healthier life. In fact, there was a research study that came out a few years ago from England that said people who regularly engage in the arts live 7 years longer on average than people who do not. So go to your local art gallery, don't just go for hikes and walks, those are great too, but also go make sure you're getting that art piece. Go see a show. And it also leads to a prosperous community. A lot of downtowns and cities and neighborhoods have been revitalized because of an arts facility that has brought people into the community. At Livermore, on average, if somebody does come to the Bankhead to visit, on average, someone will spend between $25 and $30 before they even step foot inside the Bankhead building. And when you do the math, and you're looking at 80,000 people plus coming into the Bankhead Theater every year, that's about $2 million in revenue for all the businesses right around the Bankhead Theater. That supports a lot of jobs. So I really like that what we do supports a kinder community, a healthier community, and a more prosperous community. Arts really does make people's lives better. And plus it washes the daily dust off of our souls, which Picasso said much better than the way I do it. What else was I going to say? Oh, here's a couple things coming up I just wanted to share with you. We're super excited about this year. Jake Shimabukuro is coming back. So is Keiko Matsui, if you've seen her, incredible artist. This is going to be fun. That's Jane Lynch and Kate Flannery, and if you watch TV or movies, you know who they are. Jane Lynch was one of the stars of Glee. She's been in a lot of movies, and Kate Flannery was in The Office. She was Meredith in that TV show, The Office. So they do a fun song and dance show. That's actually not this weekend, but the following weekend. We're doing, if you have family, you want to bring kids to something, a live-to-film concert for Moana. So we'll have a full Polynesian orchestra on the stage performing while the movie is playing. Going to be super cool. That's in November, so keep a lookout for that. This is something I'm kind of excited about. This is an actor, John C. Reilly, and do you know who Will Ferrell is? He started a lot of movies with Will Ferrell, like Step Brothers and Talladega Nights and all. Really great, funny actor. He does a vaudeville show called Mr. Romantic, and that's coming in October. And his goal is to make people happier too, and so that's what this show's about. And then this was part of our speaker series, which I haven't mentioned. We have this incredible speaker series called the Ray DeRose Speaker Series. And we do 5 or 6 speakers every year. And the first speaker is coming up next week. It is Jason Alexander, who was George Costanza in Seinfeld. And there's still tickets available for that. That's on the table. This one is Lou Elizondo, who wrote a book. He used to work for the Pentagon in the UFO division or something like that. And he wrote a book about UFOs, and he testified in front of Congress and all this stuff. I don't think they call them UFOs anymore. They call them something else. But I think that's going to be fascinating. We're selling a lot of tickets to that one. A lot of people want to come see that. One of my dad's favorite shows is Ancient Aliens. I don't know if people watch that. So my dad's like super excited about this one. So this is kind of a sampling of what we bring in. This is what I do, is I work with agents and I bring in these artists that are touring nationally and trying to get them into Livermore. And then I'm really excited about this. We just announced this on Saturday. We're doing $1 million challenge for the arts. And so we just announced a $500,000 match for any donation that we receive between now and the end of this year. It's the largest matching gift we've ever had. And it's frankly important that we do it at this time because it's been a weird year for the nonprofit world. And it's impacted everybody in different ways. And oftentimes when people who are philanthropic have to make choices, the arts is not at the top of their list. And we felt that this year because people had to make hard choices with their philanthropy. And we missed our goal by quite a bit at the end of June for our last fiscal year by about $600,000. And it's really important for us to raise funds so that we can do all of those programs that I talked about, the camps, the classes, the community outreach, the free tickets, the subsidized ticket programs. It's expensive to operate that space, and those kind of programs are not free because we believe that any artist deserves to be paid fairly. We don't expect them to work for free either. This is a big announcement for us. It's really important for us right now that we get our fundraising to where it needs to be in order to continue those programs, because we don't want to have to make those hard decisions. And I've been very grateful for this community. We encountered a big emergency a couple of years ago in 2020, as everybody knows what happened, and we were shut down for 14 months, and we survived thanks to the generosity of our community. We will always need the generosity of our community, and so I think this campaign is a way for us to remind people that it's really important to us that they continue to prioritize the arts, because you want to make sure that we're an active and vibrant space. And I'll do my best to keep it going and have a space that's for everybody, that's engaging, and that does all those things that we talked about. But I definitely, we need everybody to be a part of that process. So we all need to be washing the daily dust off the soul. So please help me be a part of that. There are, like I said, membership forms and donation forms on the table. You don't have to do it tonight or anything, but please consider it. I don't think I have anything else. That's all I have. I really am grateful to be a part of this community, and I love what I do. I can't imagine doing anything else. And if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Wow, Chris, that was a great presentation. So you focused a lot on the fun things and the people that you bring here, the programs that you create, what you do for youth. You've also done an enormous amount to shore up the finances of the Bankhead. When you took over as executive director, the Bankhead was not clearly in the black, I guess would be the... Can you talk a little bit about your progress and the financial health of the organization, which has sort of improved dramatically under your tenure?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Although I do want to say we always need funding.
You always need more.
We always need more.
But you're not on death's door anymore.
Well, no, we're not. But when I was promoted to my current role, it was in January of 2020. And then in March of 2020 is when we had to shut down. And we probably had about 3 months of reserve. And that's about how long we were going to be able to last. So the first thing we did was, first we had to pretty much furlough all of our staff, with the exception of a handful of people. But then we started calling everybody we knew. I started calling everybody I knew to see what kind of support we could get. There were some people that had pledges and things like that, and they paid them off early. That helped us a lot. We got our first large estate gift actually that year, just serendipitously. Someone left us their home, and we were able to sell that, and that made a huge difference for us. Then we took advantage of every single grant that we could find. Any program that would support us, we took advantage of that. And what's interesting is when you're closed, you're not spending any money. So we were actually able to. It was a weird. It's like you don't want to be closed, but at the same time, it allowed us to raise some funds to get us in a better position. So then when we came out of the pandemic, we were actually in a much better financial position than when we started. And what we decided to do with that was start a true operating reserve. And so we do have over $1 million that is just, we're not touching, and we're making sure that that is around so that we can be around for a long time. But we still need money. But yes, we're in a much better position than we were 5 or 6 years ago, and I'm really pleased about that. And we're also able to do a lot more programming than we were able to do then as well. And I've found that we've experimented with a lot of programming, and we've kind of, you always want to know what's the capacity of the region, what can people do, and so far we haven't found the ceiling on that. We've been able to do a lot of things that we didn't think we could do, thanks to the support of the community. So I think that's what's really wonderful.
I have a question.
Yep.
And I have a question. I love the fact that this theater looks like it's about the right size for Livermore. As you said, you don't fill all the seats, and it's quaint, and we attended the one for Vicki Lawrence, and that was hysterical because I was an avid Carol Burnett watcher. But my question is, what about kids theater? I mean, and you probably covered this. Do you have programs where the kids from the schools do, programs there and perform?
So one of our newest resident company is CYT Tri-Valley, which is a youth theater program. And they do 6 performances a year, 6 runs of shows a year at the Bankhead, which is actually about 30 performances. And they have 3 of them are like what I call junior performances, like Seussical Jr. or Mary Poppins Jr., and those are for the younger children. And then the other 3 are the more professional ones for the teenagers. And they do an amazing job. They're based, I think their home office is in Dublin. But they serve the whole Tri-Valley. We're their primary venue that they operate out of, probably about 30 days a year. So yes, so this is relatively new, but I'm really excited about that, and we've just renewed that partnership for the long term. So they're very happy to be there. You're right, and that was kind of a missing thing that we didn't have for a long time.
As successful as you are, I know you don't do it by yourself. Could you say something about your staff and support?
So we take a lot of pride in the staff as far as we talk a lot about the patron experience. We want everybody that comes to the Bankhead and the Bothwell to feel welcome and have that personal touch. And so they have a great presence. So we have an incredible, our development team is really good. Brittany Mulgrew is our development director. A lot of you might know her. She's been at the Bankhead way longer than I have since it opened. So she knows almost everybody that's bought a ticket. Just a wonderful staff. Our marketing team is very passionate. Our front of house, as soon as you walk in, the volunteers. I didn't even talk about the volunteers. We have some of the best volunteers. I'm so lucky to have the volunteers that we have. And they feel an ownership in the same way that we do of this space. And I'm so grateful for that. In fact, there's some volunteers here in the room, and I don't say it enough. I should do it more often, but I think the volunteers are exceptional. And thank you that's a good question. Thank you.
Yeah, Chris, I'd like to compliment you for trying to reach out to essentially all segments of society. Of course, you didn't mention science, so I will bring that subject up. You know that you hosted Sketches in Code right after the pandemic. That was one of your opening events. Mm-hmm. You had Jose Hernandez, the astronaut, that were school kids could come. You did the stage event of
the immersive Cosmic Odyssey.
Yeah, and so I want to make sure that everybody here understands that you're open to suggestions. If you have a good suggestion in your of something in your also have a big checkbook. That there are lots of opportunities for exploring new territories.
Yeah, and I loved that we were able to do that immersive experience. We've never done anything like that, fully produced with a lot of support from the local science community and Quest. And we had, kids would come, people would come, and we actually had a scientist there all the time. After every show, would come out and talk to them about what they just saw. We're actually have licensed that and are getting ready to put that on the road, actually. So if there's other venues like us that don't have the large space and they want to do something like that, now they can do that too, thanks to the people that supported that program. So that particular endeavor is going to continue. I'm very excited about that. Anything else? And I do love good ideas. Yeah, I'm open.
Chris, do you like good wine too?
Yes.
So Chris, we have a tradition at the club of giving the speaker a choice of red wine, white wine, or olive oil. But I forgot to bring the olive oil. So,
can I do a blend?
Can you make one up?
No, I'm just...
Sure.
Thank you so much.
So I think that's about it. We've got the scam protection.
Wait.
Oh, the ticket. I always forget the ticket.
Okay, let's take the last 4 digits. 0188.
Well, we'll see. All right.
Get a marble?
Yeah. At the end of the marbles.
Oh.